Hey girls, hey, it's Tanya Trombley, here live as always from Parent Pickup Line. Welcome, welcome. So I just love connecting with you women and sharing and helping helping you girls, think outside the box and achieve your dreams and believe in yourself. So today I'm sharing about living paycheck to paycheck. Who can feel me? Who understands and feels the love on this, right? Hey, Shayna, Savannah, Mary, what's up, girls? If you have or you are in the current state of living paycheck to paycheck, drop a number 1 in the comments. It's interesting to hear the industry and hear of the percentile of our society that is still living paycheck to paycheck. So I was, we were doing a training last night and we were talking about that and, in the industry and, talking about the opportunity of how you can get out of that rut. So it just had me thinking, and I was reflecting back on different stories and just blessing, giving praise to the blessings. Hey, Laura, Christine, Erica, Mary Beth, Mary. So who here can relate living paycheck to paycheck? Have you been there? Are you currently there? Drop a number 1 in the comments. I'd love to see who can relate. So, I think every time I get on here and share, I share different stories. And, I think it's interesting, and I hope that you learn more about me through these live Facebooks, because it's really cool how you can get to know people more and hear their story and not even realize, we all look at social media and Facebook and we think we know someone or have them on this pedestal or think highly of this, but not realizing where they came from or maybe where they currently are, right? So a few stories that, I was going to share with you is, I think I always worked. I worked since I was 13, well, probably before that because I babysat, but a real job where I got a paycheck from a company, 13. And I've always worked. So I never had an issue working and making things happen and, paying the bills, and no matter what, I made it, it worked. And, I thought it was me, but it's really God. We know that God was providing, right? Can I get an amen? Because it's not really us, it's really God that does provide for us. So if you are in that state right now, living paycheck to paycheck or in debt or just totally drowning, know that He will provide, okay? So during this process of life and growing up, I just, that's how I was. I got my very first car. My grandpa gave it to me. And I remember, I don't, was it a Yugo or something? Oh no, a Pinto, girls, a brown Pinto, right? Straight up, right here. Well, I wrecked it within a month. It was total, not even, whatever. So I was going to buy my own car and make my own payment. So I got my first car. It was a Fiero, a little red Fiero. Matchbox. I don't even know how my parents agreed to me having this, but I made the payments. I was responsible. I've been working again since I was 13. I always believed in working for what you wanted and what you got and what you will receive. You can't just sit back and let things be handed to you. I was never that kind of person. I was going to go out there and work for it. So I did, and I wrecked that car a couple times too. So then I proceeded to have a Grand Am. We got a Grand Am, and then that blew up. And now granted, all these cars were used, okay? All used. My first one was used, my Fiero was used, my Grand Am was used. Got a second Grand Am that was used, and we totaled that. I got a Mustang that got me to college, and that was used, and that was from a family member. But, I have a car, right? Okay. And then I left there, and I had a little a blue car. I can't remember what kind of car it was. Again, it was used from an old lady. And, I'm not above that. My life, I drove and did what I had to do to get me where I needed to go. It was just transportation. I didn't look at it as a title. It didn't make me any less or any more above, right? And, I lived paycheck to paycheck, and I had 3-4 jobs, and I was paying my bills, and I was doing a little bit of this, and, going to college, paid for my stuff. I was never handed nothing. So I remember I wrecked my last blue car, and at that time, I was separated from my mom. I didn't talk to my mom for a couple years. And yeah, Jessica, I was in about 10 car accidents. So that's why I have a bad neck issue also. Not good, I know. So during that time of not talking to my mom, an only child, I have no family, right? No support. I was trying to get to college. I was working 3 jobs, going to school local. My roommates and friends were giving me driving me everywhere because they had to drive me to this one job, pick me up, take me to school, drive, and it was just a very, very hard place and position, heartache to be in at that time. There was a Thunderbird, a gray, beat up, rusted looking Thunderbird on the side of the road, $600. I didn't have no one to help me, family. I didn't have 600 saved. I think I had maybe 100. A friend of mine reached out to a local family member and asked for them to donate $600 to me. They donated $600 to me, and I bought that car on the side of the road for 600 bucks. Let me tell you, I started the car up and it would backfire. So every time I started that car, pow, 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 it would backfire. I mean, here you are, a cool college kid, right? In school, trying to be cool, this girl, whatever, and you're driving this beat up Thunderbird off the side of the road for $600. It's rusted, no paint left on it. The inside of the roof is falling down on your head. The seats are cracked. It's a hot mess, and it backfired every time you started it. It was quite embarrassing. But you know what? I drove it. It got me to where I needed to go and what I needed to do. And during those times, I never had a new car. I never went to a car dealership. I never had a new car. I lived, paycheck to paycheck, but I survived, and I thought I was doing good. I was able to pay things, pay off things, save money, spend it, so I thought I was doing good. So then after that car, I think finally blew up, I bought my friend's car, and that lasted me for a while. I drove out to Arizona in it. And then my mom sold me her car. Okay. Y'all don't be judging about how many cars I have. First off, if y'all can keep count, I want you to comment in here how many cars total, when I'm done telling you how many cars I had, okay? But I want you to remember, they were all used, and they were all, I paid cash for, through these people, whatever, paid payments. I never had a brand new car. Never went to dealership, never had a brand new car. So that car blew up, and I bought my mom's Corolla. Then my mom's Corolla, she got a new car, and I got rid of the Corolla, and I bought her Camry. So that was my last car, her Camry. Did good, was doing fine. Then I bought a Cougar, a red Cougar from somebody, a lady, a estate sale, and I bought that Cougar and drove that for a while. Then my husband found my Hummer, and that was from our local race team, and I bought my Hummer. Okay. Then my Hummer started having issues, so we got this Expedition, Ford Expedition, off of Craigslist. Got a great deal on it. Bought cash, paid for the car. Okay, that was my last car. The reason I'm telling you all these stories and all these cars is I want you to see where I came from and where I'm at now. I came from a little brown Pinto. I came from that $600 beat up car on the side of the road I paid cash for that backfired on me. And then gradually my cars got nicer. Got the Corolla, got the Camry, got the Cougar, got my Hummer, got the Expedition. First time in my life, 45 years old, in July 2017, so just a couple months ago, did I go to a car dealership? Did I buy a new car from a car dealership? I didn't do it to be I am somebody. I didn't even want to go through a dealership. I didn't want nothing to do with dealerships. I don't like the headache. I don't like the stress. I don't like the way they treat you. They treat you bad. I didn't want nothing with it. I wanted to buy a car with cash from somebody, Craigslist again, whatever, used, auction, whatever, what I've done my whole life. And it was a very uncomfortable scenario for me. But I wanted a car that was going to be reliable for my kids, still a kid. I say kids because she always has her friends, my kid, but had a warranty on it, and I wanted something bigger to hold my family. So in order to do that, you're talking SUV, and you're talking, it needs to not be really older than a 2015 if you still want warranty. Well, you're not going to find an SUV with warranty still on Craigslist, and you're talking 40 whatever thousand, $50,000. People just don't roll up with cash and buy it off Craigslist. So my husband said, you have to go to a dealership. So I did. So I bought my very first brand new car from a dealership. I kind of was like, Oh my gosh, I think I was in shock. My mom had it pointed out. It didn't even come to me. She says, do you realize you just bought your first very brand new car? You have never had a brand new car. You've always bought everybody else's hand-me-downs. And I'm an only child. Like, that usually happens to the middle kid, right? Not the only child. And I said, wow, you're right. Wow. This is like a record moment that I need to remember where I'm at in my life and stop and give praise to God that I'm in the position that I can even do that, one. And two, a big monument. I got a brand new car. It's the first time in my life. It's something a goal I just achieved. I didn't realize it was a goal that I was able to do for myself and my family. And I did it without living paycheck to paycheck. And I did it without being in debt. And I did it without feeling guilty. So, you know, my story is, you know, are you living paycheck to paycheck? Right now, or did you? I think we've all been there. And I think if you get to a position in your life where you might be financially okay, or you're financially doing good, or you're a status, you're a president of something, or you own a company now, or you're a CEO, or you're me, I'm a top leader. I'm a top leader in the industry. But I am not going to let that get to my head, and I'm not going to let that define me. My stories, my lifetime is what defines me. I've had that beat up car. And you know what? That beat up car didn't define me. That beat up, backfiring piece of junk I drove that got me to my job, got me to college, didn't define me. It didn't make me less worth. It didn't make me not worthy of a relationship. It didn't make me not a good friend. It didn't make me not a good daughter. It didn't make me not worthy of going to school, work. It didn't define me. It was a tool to get me where I needed to go. I have a new car now. Does that define me? Does that make me better because I'm sitting in this parent pickup line and, ooh, look at her car? No. If that's you and you're letting materialistic stuff define you, you might want to check yourself before God takes it all away. And don't think he won't. So I want to encourage you to not live paycheck to paycheck. It's easier to say than to do. But if you can work, and it takes work. I have not gotten anywhere in my life without work. This opportunity that I have right now with my company and being the top leader, it was not handed to me. There was 178 women before me who had the same opportunity. The same opportunity. I went in there, I worked, I killed myself, busted my butt for 2 years, didn't play on the phone, didn't play on the TV, didn't watch TV, probably neglected my friends and family and myself, didn't work out for almost a year, and gave it my all to you girls, every single one of you, and myself to make that opportunity happen. It was not handed to me. I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the training, I didn't have the education, I had to do it myself. So, you know, you girls who, or men, whatever, if you're sitting here waiting for someone to hand it to you, it's not going to happen. If you want to make a change and you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore, then you need to make that change. Don't wait for someone to hand it to you. Don't wait for the huge opportunity. Don't wait to win the lottery. Don't wait for someone to give it to you. Go work and make it happen. I didn't grow up rich. I've never had anything handed to me. My mom worked hard. We all worked hard. I've never, ever had anything happen or handed to me. I still continue to work to appreciate what I do have at this moment in my time. I will never take advantage or granted of what I have been given, God's blessing in what I've been given, not what a company's given to me. No one's given me what I have. I've busted my butt and I've worked myself to where I have what I have. So if you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore, my family, I didn't realize how much I was living paycheck to paycheck. Independent, self-employed. I had a spa at one time. You know, I finally got a corporate job, had insurance, thought I was good, you know, making $60,000 a year, whatever. I'm good. My husband's still self-employed. He's working. We weren't hurting. We went where we want. We traveled, did what we wanted. We bought what we wanted. But at the end of the day, if something happened, we were in trouble. At the end of the day, did we have 6 months of savings set up for our family? No. Had a little bit, but not 6 months worth. That's what they tell you to do. Did we have our family set up? Did we have a retirement? Did I have my child's college paid for? Did I have those things set up? No, I was living and living just through the motions and working hard and just spending money as I worked hard and not getting ahead. Not till this opportunity came to me and I buckled down and focused and stayed focused in and still do, and I still do the work right along with my girls, that did I get in a position where I can take care of my family. I sat back thinking my husband was going to. Nothing against my husband, nothing wrong with Big Daddy, nothing saying bad about him at all. He's self-employed. Where do you think he's getting his retirement from? When you're self-employed, that don't happen. You know, we as women sometimes think the men need to take care of it, and they need to be the ones that are preparing the family and setting up for the retirement and the college and making sure we're okay. But sometimes the men in our life, the husbands, whatever, they're not they're not in the position to do that. If you have that opportunity and you're in the position you can make the change for your family and you can make that happen, take it off your husband and do it. Do it. Let's stop living paycheck to paycheck. You know, things can change tomorrow. If something's changed tomorrow, I want to know still my family's okay and I'm not just living paycheck to paycheck. If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, then my means are above my head. If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, then I'm spending more than I'm bringing in. If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I better check myself. And I have. That's what's happened to me. When I owned my spa, we were great. It'd take you 3 weeks to get an appointment. We were so busy. I had 20 girls working underneath me. I had 10 rooms going. We were busy. We were the biggest spa in town. We had it going on. My husband was doing construction. We had it good. We could have went, bought the big house, the big cars, all the toys, done all this stuff to look like the Joneses and look like the Smiths and look cool and look like we have all that and some money and we're something, but we didn't. I said, no, be still, sit where we're at. I'm happy, fine where we're at. And we did. And thank God, because when the economy crashed and my husband was slow and then I couldn't even get people to book an appointment for one day, we were in trouble. Thank God our bills were not above our means. Thank God our bills were still the same. Thank God we didn't go out there and overextend ourselves. We stayed in the home that we could afford. We stayed in the cars that were paid off. We didn't go and get all this debt. So we were able to make it and survive. So many of my friends, God bless, they didn't. You know, it's easy to get caught up in it. We've all been caught up in it. I've been caught up in it. I'm not sitting here saying I never have. And don't feel guilty if you are caught up in it. If you were, or if you are right now. It's part of life. It's what we do. We don't even realize it. But just maybe step back and check yourself and think, what can I do different to not be living paycheck to paycheck? What can I do different? Maybe start saving, maybe pay off some of my debt, maybe make goals. You know, I remember when I built my house in Boynton Beach, I had a goal, $30,000 to put down in the house. I had 6 months to make it happen. I killed myself. I worked like 60, 70 hours a week, but I did it. You can do it. Don't give up on yourself. If you're drowning in debt and you're struggling, make those choices in your life to buckle down, work hard for short term to get your head above water and stop living paycheck to paycheck. There's so many opportunities out there to help you. We have been blessed with this opportunity, and you know, I count my blessings every day. But I know at the end of the day, if God wants to take it away, He will. And I will not let that materialistic stuff define me. So if you see me in my new car, honk honk, I'm no better than the person who drove my broke down Thunderbird on the road. Lena, you're on. Lena is the one that made that happen for me. Lena reached out during that time of my need and asked somebody to please help me be able to buy that beat up, broke down, silver rusted Thunderbird that backfired on the road for $600 for me to drive. Thank you, Lena. It was not, the car didn't define me. It got me where I needed to go. Use the tools God gives us to get where you need to go in life. Don't just settle. Don't just be paycheck to paycheck. Take the opportunities and make it happen. We all can. No one is luckier. No one's more blessed. No one's at the right place at the right time. I'm not any more lucky than you. I'm not any blessed than you. You have the same opportunity. It's what you make of it. When people say, oh, you started with the company at the right time, you were the first person in, it was a new company, you know, you were started. No, you need to get your information straight. 178 people before me, they could have made it happen. They could have done the same thing. No, I did the hard work. Believe in yourself and know what journey you're on. If you do the work and you do the hard work, you too will be blessed. It's not just handed to you. It wasn't handed to me. So make a commitment today. Drop a number 2 if you're going to challenge yourself and make that commitment to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Make that commitment if it's to pay off that one credit card. Make that commitment if you need to make some other financial means coming your way. I have a lot of friends who are single moms. You know, they're making it happen for their family. It's hard. Struggles are hard. And you are going to be living paycheck to paycheck. You might be living that paycheck to paycheck until your kids get out of the house. But make that goal and that challenge to yourself that that's not going to be your ending. That's not your story. That's not going to be your destination. You one day will get your head above water, and that will not be the end of your story. Drop a number 2 here. If you think this video can help or share it with anyone, tag them, share it. You know, we all have such a story, and so many people think they know you on Facebook, and they put you up here, and you know, these girls have me on a pedestal. I'm no different, no better than any single one of you. I've never acted that way since day one. I'm still the same person since day one. And my story is what defines me and pushed me and made me work hard and has me where I am today. And that's what you need to remember. When you see somebody that's got a status or has got, you know, a title behind their name, they're no better than you. I'm no better than any of y'all. I just worked hard and made it happen. And you can too. All right, tag someone, share it. I hope this you know, gives a little inspiration today, and I hope you're encouraged to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.